Butthole Town. What goes up and around the corner. Butthole Town. Well, we gotta get out of a butthole town.
The dude comes up to me and is like, hunga dunga, hunga dunga, hunga dunga.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
no,
what are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't understand it at all. And then he's like, you're my father? And I'm like,
no.
Dude, I barely know you.
Yeah,
I just met you 5 minutes ago.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what was up with that.
Kind of weird.
Anyway, welcome back, everybody, to episode number 10. We made it to the anniversary.
Yes. Double digits. Butthole Town has finally made it to the 10th spot. I'm super proud of us.
I guess it's something to be proud of.
Well, nobody else is going to be proud for us, so we have to be proud of ourselves.
That's probably true.
Oh man, it does feel like an accomplishment to be here at episode 10. We thought we'd probably quit after like 3, but we just
we also thought nobody would listen after any of them. So
yeah. And you guys are listening. We're up to 711 downloads right now. What up?
Turn up.
Yeah.
Not great, but hey.
It's pretty good though. I mean, for 10, 700 something, I mean, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So, my girlfriend's calling me while I'm trying to do a podcast. What do you freaking do?
What does she know? Don't you know?
Oh, wait. I mean, doesn't she know that I'm trying to do a podcast right now? She should know by now. You can't call me while I'm doing the podcast. We do it through the phone. We're simulcast.
This is a simulcast.
Yeah.
This is coming live from Atlanta and Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, we're coming
by
live.
The power of the internet.
Okay. It's not the power of the internet. It's just the power of phone lines. But yeah.
Well, thank you, Alexander Graham Bell. Sponsor our podcast.
Alexander Graham Bell, please sponsor our podcast. So today on Butthole Town News.
What are we talking about today?
I don't really know why we call it Butthole Town News because most of the time it's not really news.
It's not news.
Maybe
we
should think of like another. Yeah, anyways, it's Butthole Town News. But today we're just going to be talking about the.
I got an idea for what we should call it.
Okay.
We should just call it Bout Butthole Town.
Bout Butthole Town?
Yeah, bout. Just skip the A.
Around Butthole Town?
Around the Butthole Town and up the corner? No.
Around. What's going on around the Butthole Town? That's kind of good. All right. So around the Butthole Town this week, we're talking about the English language and how towns like our Butthole Town have distorted it to their own weird advantage, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if advantage is the right word, just completely demolished all standard English practices.
They go by their own rules, you know. So we're just going to be talking about some of the words that me and Joel, oh, goodness gracious, he's hacking up a lung over there. We are going to be talking about some of the words that me and Joel grew up mispronouncing, and we still mispronounce to this day. Number one, this is probably one of the biggest things, and it's even debated in the South. Not everybody pronounces this word this way.
I know what you're going to say right now.
I'm going about pecan. I'm going about the word pecan. You know, it's pronounced pecan. I took a broadcast media class in college, so we had to pronounce the word correctly. Pecan.
That's not a correct pronunciation.
It's
a pronunciation.
Okay, well, that's what the college told me how to pronounce it.
Yeah, well, he's stuck up and arrogant, so what does he know?
He's a college professor. What does he know?
No, that's about the truth.
But pecan, and if I ever said anything to my girlfriend about pecan, she'd be like, a pecan is a can you pee in. And I'm like, no.
No, it's not. It's a nut you eat.
It's a nut. It's a nut you eat. And I don't know about pecan. That sounds so posh.
It sounds overly northern for a southern word.
Give me that pecan. Yeah, I don't know.
Or like, I hate the people that split the difference. Well, I don't hate the people. I hate that they say that the word and they like split the difference. It's pecan. I'm like, bro, what?
I'm going to start doing a whole new pronunciation. Just be like, peckin'. Hand me that peckin' boy.
That peckin' pie.
Peckin' pie. Do you have any words, Joel? Hit me with one.
Well, this one's not one that's like, this is one we say that's not like actually a word.
Okay.
And it's while ago.
That is so good. Yes.
like I did something a while ago. It's not even a word. It's supposed to be a while ago. But we use it for even a shorter distance in time than that. Like literally a second ago. Like I did that a while ago. And it's like, we say it like wall ago.
Yeah, you take out the
Like that's one wall ago.
Yeah, you take out the so it's just like while ago. I did it a while ago.
Yeah. It's not even a word, but everybody knows what it means.
Yeah. I wonder if people up north use that at all.
No, there's no way.
Because I feel like they've taken some of the small things like ain't up there, right?
No.
Oh, I feel like
nobody says ain't.
I think some people up there do say ain't, maybe ironically. But
people barely say ain't in Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah,
well, really. You're there, so I guess I wouldn't know. I thought ain't was something that's more common now throughout the U.S.
I mean, maybe, but it's still not like super common. If you go somewhere and say ain't, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're from the South."
This
but ain't is in the dictionary. People look it up. It's a word.
It is. It's
one of the handiest.
Slang, but yeah, that ain't right. All right, so then this next word I actually used the other day, and this isn't a common one, but it was just something I said. Okay. Me and my girlfriend were out in the backyard. And I was like, what, do you want to wrestle or something? And she was like, wrestle? And I was like, yeah, like wrestling. She was like, wrestling? So wrestling is kind of a thing. I feel like a lot of Southern people are into WWE, and they would probably refer to it as wrestling.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I'm a wrestle. It's just WRASSLE. Just wrestle.
It sounds like a candy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Razzles.
The chocolate nougat Razzle. Yeah, Razzles. Yeah, Razzles is like gum candy.
But it's also candy.
Featured in the movie 13 Going on 30. Check it out. Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo.
They do some wrestling in that movie.
They do some they do some razzling. Yeah.
They do some wrestling while eating Razzlers.
All right. You got any more?
Let's see. I have this one is one that I didn't know. I don't even know if it's a Southern thing, but just like you just say the word wrong. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was whelp instead of welt. Like if you like hit yourself on the leg with like
a bruise, yeah.
Yeah, or something like you get bumped on the head. It's not a whelp, it's a welt with a T.
Oh, whelp.
Yeah, I was like, oh, whelp.
That's not, yeah.
I thought it was the same word.
It does sound like that. Like, oh, I got a whelp on my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always kind of thought that too.
But it's welt with a T. I was like, okay, well, I didn't know that.
That reminds me of the rat, called the what's it, the wolf rat? But I always call it the wolf rat.
Wolf, like
it's a
howling wolf.
Yeah, like it's a wolf rat. And I always thought when I was growing up, like those are wolf rats. Better beware those.
They're really,
wolf rats.
really big and dangerous.
Yeah, wharf.
It's wharf rats.
But probably because I heard like some Southern guy say it, I was like, oh, wolf rat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just thought of another one.
Okay.
Barbed wire.
Bob.
It's barbed wire. No, it's barbed wire, but nobody says barbed wire.
Yeah, barbed wire.
It's barbed wire. Yeah. That's a really, really common one.
Kind of like a girl's name being Barbara. Barbara.
Hey, Barbara, get over here.
This
sounds very New York.
This is one that's pretty common. And this isn't just like one word. This is just a bunch of different words that are said like this. But like the word hair would be hair. That would be that would be like that. So like the becomes
I can't stand when people do that though. Yeah. That's not like every Southern person. There's just like some Southern accents.
It's more of a woman thing. It really is. I think more girls do it.
It gets on my nerves.
So
dude.
like, oh, I gotta brush my hair.
My hair.
Yeah.
They're like hanging on to a little bit of that old Southern accent.
Yeah, that's that.
You talk like this all the time.
Rich like molasses coming out your mouth. But yeah,
got molasses in my hair.
That is pretty like common. Like, and a lot of little kids will do it too, and they'll grow out of it. But like Southern kids will talk like that.
Yeah, I can't stand that version of the Southern accent.
It's like, oh, you're gonna wear that, or I'm gonna wear that.
Wire that.
Yeah. So
I don't like that one.
And this is the biggest one. I'm gonna drop the bomb of all. This is one that I'm still like somewhat embarrassed of.
I wonder if this is on my list because I bet it is.
I bet it is. It has to be because
it's got to be the same one.
Every guy from my town growing up, and even some girls, use this to refer to their father, Daddy, not daddy, as it would be spelled. No, dead, like the word dead, daddy.
Yeah, that's what I call my daddy.
There's just something overtly feminine about calling your dad daddy, and it's also just too northern to call him dad.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing.
Yeah. Now, like, sometimes I will I always refer to my daddy as dad in front of people like at work or anywhere like that, because you don't want people to be like, Daddy, what are you talking about? It's like, make fun of me. Because I remember one time I went to a camp when I was younger, and I wrote Daddy on the wall, some kind of like wall we had to do like our prayer requests or something like that, and I wrote Daddy, and they were like Daddy, and I was like, no, Daddy.
Did you spell it with an E?
No, I spelled it like that, but then the kid was like Daddy, and I was like, no, Daddy, and he was like I was like, what? Get out of here. Get out of here.
The stupid things we get picked on as children for.
Exactly. So now I'm just scarred, so I just refer to him as dad in front of people, but...
Yeah, whenever I'm talking to people up here, I'm like, yeah, my mom and my dad.
Yeah,
if I'm talking to my father, I refer to him as daddy.
Yeah, you have
to. I just say daddy.
You have to act like he's you're so northern, like in front of people.
It's like,
oh, my mom and my dad, yeah, they raised me.
My mother and my father.
Yeah, because we don't either one of us call our mom either.
No,
it's mama. Right?
Yeah, mom.
But sometimes I will like ironically kind of refer to my dad like, "What's up, Dad?" type thing. But it's
my
not.
My daddy would slap me across the room if I ever did that.
But Daddy, I would call to him as an actual like name if I was talking to him. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that came from. I guess it's just like guys just didn't want to call their daddy like their little sister did. It's like Daddy. Yeah. I don't know. Or maybe just the southern. I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever.
It's just the accent, I guess.
Yeah.
I call my daddy Pa sometimes just to be funny.
Pa.
Yeah.
Well,
not like seriously, but
my dad calls his daddy Pop. So like sometimes
that's an older generation.
Yeah. Once my dad gets older, I think once he's a grandfather, I might refer to him as Pop now and then.
Pop.
Hey, what's up, Pop? Yeah. So do you have any more words? Is that it?
Yes, this is one. Okay. I honestly thought this was yours because this was like.
Oh, you thought this was okay?
Yeah, I thought this one was going to be yours.
Okay.
Tennis shoes.
Tenna.
Not tennis. Tenna.
No. Tenna shoes.
TENNA shoes.
Like a henna tattoo, but tenna with a
tenna
T.
shoes.
Tenna shoes. Yeah, it's like 10-A-shoes. 10 shoes. Yeah, I don't.
You have 5 shoes? No, I have 10 shoes.
I guess it's just weird to say tennis shoes because it's hard to pronounce.
Well, it's because the S's run together.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to say.
It sounds like tennis shoes, but it's tennis shoes. I don't know. I guess it's the accent.
I don't even know if northern people would even say tennis shoes. Hey, do you have a new pair of tennis shoes?
They probably just call them sneakers.
Oh yeah, sneakers.
I got a pair of sneakers. Yeah, everybody from the north is Canadian.
I just thought of a sandwich, like sandwich too. We do that all the time.
Not seriously though. Really?
Like I'm gonna eat a sandwich. Don't people say that?
I know. You're the only person I know that actually says that.
Sandwich. I guess maybe some people say sandwich. I guess I don't say sandwich a lot. I normally say sandwich too. But that's something that is spelled like that sometimes, or said like that sometimes in a Butthole Town scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's an extreme one, but it does happen.
What about like this isn't really a word that we say wrong, but calling lunch dinner and then dinner supper.
Yes.
It's too freaking confusing.
Yeah, because people are like, you want dinner? And I was like, oh, you talking about lunch? And they're like, no, dinner. And I'm like, so you're talking about supper?
Exactly. So my thing is like, whenever I'm home, I always refer to it as lunch and supper. I never use dinner for either. I just avoid that word altogether.
Me either. I've always been breakfast, lunch, and supper. Dinner is like, I think of like something like if you ate at like 5 o'clock and it's like super fancy, like, oh, we're going to dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My dad calls lunch dinner. I'm like, he's like, what you want for dinner? I'm like,
you mean lunch?
Lunch. I'm like, okay, yeah, that lunch, yes.
I don't know why supper is like such a southern thing. Like why more people don't say supper.
I don't know. Like, why did we get a separate word for
dinner?
The same meal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where that came from.
Dinner is the more common worldwide. Worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide maybe, which is just England and the U.S. for English.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like at dinner time.
Yeah, it's supper time, man.
Supper time, yeah.
I'm ready for supper.
Yeah, supper sounds like we're just having some good like fried chicken and stuff. Like dinner.
Exactly.
Dinner seems like, I don't know.
I got to put on a collared shirt and actually use utensils. That's what that sounds like.
Collard greens. Brussels sprouts.
Collard greens ain't a fancy meal.
Yeah, it's because you said collard, so I was like, oh, collard greens.
Oh, you're trying to make a bad pun.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But
one thing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say one thing that bugs me is like when Southern people like have an accent. Obviously, we all have an accent because we're from the South, right? But when people like do certain words just really strange for no apparent reason, like my dad calls oral. I'm like, why is there an R in it?
Oral?
Almost like not quite oral. It's like oral. I'm like, what? There's no R in this word. Or like fuel, he calls fuel. It's like he keeps putting R's in these random words, and I'm like, why? This is totally unnecessary. It gets on my nerves. Like I can't stand it. And I was like, why are you doing this?
You've always heard how successful the oral business is. Yeah,
that sounds like that has something to do with the mattress firm conspiracy last week.
Like last episode, yeah, Victoria's Secret, yeah, yeah, that is weird, but I've heard of that too, like just like different like things added in for just some extra spice.
Yeah, I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I don't really know, and yeah, it's weird because like with my accent, it gets stronger around like older country people. Like if I'm talking to my grandpa, I'd be like, hey, what's up, how you doing, getting real more Southern around him. But like when I'm talking to like people here, I'm a lot more normal, and my accent is mellowed out with age just because of the people I've surrounded myself with. But if I go back and I spend a lot of time with some old Southern people, it'll come out.
Mine's like a light switch when I go home. Like as soon as I'm around people that start talking Southern to me, like I just go right back to my roots talking Southern. But when I'm up here, I'm around a bunch of people that, like, 3 or 4 of the people I work with are originally from New York. They don't have, like, Boston or, like, that weird New Yorker or Boston type accent. No, they don't have that kind of accent.
Yeah.
They're just, like, really, really plain, well-spoken.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, around them, I don't talk nearly as Southern. I don't think we talk that Southern towards each other.
No.
But yeah, it's just
we never have really, but not really with any of my friends have I ever been like super Southern.
Yeah.
It's really a more like older people thing, adults and stuff. But yeah, there's also
these stupid nicknames.
We've been talking about these real weird words, but there's weird nicknames that come out of our town. And there's one that we were just talking about before the podcast started that we have in common. Not that we have in common, but our families have in common.
Yeah, our families.
That I said that one of my grandpas calls his wife Fred. And
and then my mother's father calls her Fred.
Yeah, like what is with these old men calling their wives Fred or the women Fred? Not I guess not their wife.
That's not his wife. It's her.
But still, like girls Fred. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She got her nickname from the old Red Skelton show. There was a character on there named Fred. And so he just started calling her Fred because of that. It's like such a strange nickname for a woman.
Well, the thing is, why I said wives, and I guess that was in my head, because someone had told me, and it might have been Samantha or someone, old, like their grandpa, they had a nickname for their wife and they named him Fred. And I was like, what the heck? What is with this thing, this phenomenon?
Yeah, it's so weird.
How many old guys out there are calling girls Fred? Let me know. Call in, email us at butthole.town@gmail.com. We want to know statistics.
Yeah, that's like a man being called Barbara or something like.
Yeah, the women.
Hey,
the
what's
women
your name?
can't like.
My name's Duke. Well, you're gonna call you Barbara as a nickname. Like what?
The women have to hate it. It's like, oh,
yeah,
geez.
There's no way.
Another one I was gonna say real quick. R.I.P. My great aunt just passed away a couple weeks ago, but her name.
Talk about that right now.
Yeah, her name was Carolyn, but everybody always knew her, I included, as Cookie.
Yeah, I knew other people called Cookie too. That's like a common one.
Cookie's a great nickname though, because you only think about positive things when you think about the name Cookie.
That's true.
So I always thought of her as a great lady because she's Cookie. What's her name?
Yeah.
It's super
She's
fun to have it.
sweet, right?
Super fun to have an Aunt Cookie. It was always really great. R.I.P. again. Love you, Cook.
That was the one I used to play baseball with this kid. His nickname was Boo. And his real name was Chandler. It's like, where does that come from?
It comes from somebody in the crowd just like, boo! And they were just like, oh, a nickname. They love me, Mom.
Yes, son, that's because they love you. Every time he walks up to the plate, boo.
Mom, can I get boo painted on my batting helmet? Sure, son. No problem.
That's a way to really turn around a negative and make it into a positive.
Yeah, now you just call him Boo, like Boo Bear.
Boo Bear?
Sure, that's what it comes from, baby. It's not because you suck at baseball.
It's not because everyone hates you and you're terrible.
I knew boos and boo-boos, and like, so it's like, how many boos do you get?
I had a cousin nicknamed Bobo, which is basically the same thing with one less O.
I had an uncle named Bobo. Brother of Cookie, which is kind of funny.
You had some weird names of your family in general.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're from the South. You got all these weird... Everybody just wants to shorten things and stuff, too. So it's like Bobo is probably something much longer.
Like what? Boetris or something?
Actually, I can't remember his real name. So I don't think it had anything to do with Bo, but...
Oh. It's probably Chandler again.
Probably David.
Bob.
No, but yeah.
Into Bobo.
It's kind of like, how many bows or boos do you get? It's like, oh, he's a boo. He's got 3 boos in his name.
He's Boo the third.
Boo Jr. The Boo name will carry on. Yeah. And there's also...
Can you imagine if that was somebody's actual name?
A Boo?
Yeah. It's just Boo.
Boo. My mom hates me. Boo. Yeah. That'd be terrible. But he'd have great fun on Halloween.
Hey, look, there goes Boo. And everybody jumps every time they say his name.
Oh, that's a terrible joke.
That's not funny at all.
There's also Bubba, which is huge. And Bubba becomes less of a name and more just like a pronoun. Like, hey, there's Bubba over there. Hey, Bubba, what's up, man?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh. It's just
it's almost like dude in the South.
It really is. My dad and his brothers all call each other like Bubba or Bub. So
yeah, it's definitely a thing for like brothers and stuff, Bubba.
Yeah, instead of saying brother, just like Bubba.
Yeah.
But Bubba is also just the name. Like, I knew a kid in school called Bubba.
Oh, yeah.
And like, we have plenty of Bubbas. I don't know if Bubba has to be a Southern thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It can't be like a Bubba's Pizzeria in New York or anything like that. I doubt it.
No. The whole thing, my whole family, like all my mom's sisters and stuff, like my granddad gave everybody nicknames on my mom's side.
That must be a common thing of these like grandparents giving all the kids nicknames.
I guess so, because he called his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Somebody got busy.
No, he had 8 kids total, but this is only my mama could only remember 6 of her sisters' nicknames.
Okay.
So one of them was Satch. I don't know where that came from. Another one was Frosty. Another one was Smokey, and then Mama was Fred, and then another one was Fats or Fatso Gerdie or Toot Toot.
Like those were the 3 options she had?
Yeah, that's her one of them. He called her those 3 things.
What do you want to be today? Fatso
Gerdie,
or Toot Toot? What are you feeling today?
How bad do you feel about yourself today?
I just really want to be called my name, Dad. The one you gave me at birth? Get out of here, Toot Toot.
What that does to your kid.
Shut up, Toot Toot.
Toot Toot.
Timmy Toot Toot.
You just get one of those like train whistle horns, the little wood ones, and you just blow in it twice and call her to the room.
Somebody's feeling Toot Toot today, huh, Fatso Gerdie? That's awful, though.
Can you imagine what that does to your kid?
Yeah, it's literally picking on your kid. It's like, I'm just gonna nickname my kid Stupid. Hey, Stupid, get in here.
That's terrible. And then another one was Burger Man. Oh wait, what?
He's homeschooled, so he didn't get bullied at school, so they have to make up for it. So I bully you at home. Hey, Stupid, get in here.
I think that's called child abuse, actually.
Oh, can you get in trouble for that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jeez, dude, what?
No, that's not what I meant. Jeez, people, I'm not gonna abuse my kids. Maybe verbally, but not physically.
Dude, come on.
Oh, okay. I won't verbally abuse my kids, but I might call them something stupid like Fatso Gerdie. Okay, I'll keep it to Fatso Gerdie. I won't go to stupid. Okay, is everybody okay? Is everybody happy?
Probably not your kid whenever you have one, but
yeah. Well,
another one was Burger Man or Booze. Calls them between those two.
Burger Man. That seems very long. Hey, Burger Man. My name's just Ben. You can just you don't have to put that many syllables in there. You're wasting time.
That's so weird.
Yeah, maybe he just really liked burgers.
Maybe so. And then another one was Cat, which it doesn't seem that weird.
Cat
for a girl. It's just Cat.
Yeah.
Then me and two of my cousins, we were all like different heights, and so the tallest one, he was big man. I was middle man. The other one was little man. That's what he referred to us as. So. He was good. He was good at dealing out the nicknames.
Yeah.
I had another nickname because I had my baseball nickname, which was Cotton Top, which is definitely a Southern nickname.
Maybe your grandfather just couldn't remember anybody's name, so he just had to give everybody nicknames.
I think so.
He's just like,
well, he did drink a lot, so
he's like, the kind of the tall one, the kind of short one, and
the wide one. I guess we'll call her Fatso Gerdie. That's not short at all. Like,
hey, Fatso
Gerdie,
whatever your name is, just get in here. Change the channel. Yeah.
Push button television sets.
Oh, well, that's funny. I think that's all the nicknames I have. Oh, I had one more. My great grandma, they called her Noogie.
Noogie? Which
kind of relates back to cooking, like a food, because isn't like nougat? That's what I think about, like noogie. Also, it could be
is that when people rub your head.
Yeah, your head. Yeah, that too. But nougat is something you eat. Nougat?
Yeah.
Noogie, yeah, is when you give somebody a noogie. But I don't know if that's... Is that like an old thing?
Like your uncles or something have like some really weird names? Like one of them was Lupo.
Yeah, well, it was somebody my papa
legit name.
Yeah, on my papa's side. My papa, by the way. I've been saying grandpa in here, but papa is what I really call him. Another thing I was trying to hide from you guys, okay? It's a Southern thing. Papa. Anyways, my papa and his people on his side, yeah, they had some crazy names like Genevieve and Lupo. I don't know where they came up with those names. Which was their
legitimate names, not even nicknames.
Yeah, those aren't nicknames. Those are their God-given names. Not God-given, I guess. Parent-given.
Yeah.
God gave birth. No.
That was going nowhere.
Okay,
fast.
God gave them the miracle of birth, but the people named the children. Okay?
Yeah.
Does anybody know how... If anybody knows how pregnancy works, can you please email me at buttholetown@gmail.com? I'm still a little, hazy on the whole scenario.
Yeah, we didn't learn anything about that kind of stuff in school.
I took sex ed 3 times, and literally, I took it.
Sounds like the start of a joke.
I took it twice in middle school, once in high school, and then I took it again in college. So I've literally taken it 4 times. But back home, I took it 3 times.
Why did you take it twice in middle school? Did they just think, okay, this kid just doesn't get it?
I did have a lot of questions,
dude. That's it.
I did have a lot of questions, but I think it was just there's probably a lot of sex happening in our town at a very young age.
Whoa! We can't talk about that.
I'm just saying that, obviously happens in our town. People get pregnant in high school, so
no, that's true.
So I'm just saying, they probably had to really buckle down on letting kids know early on.
Double down in middle school.
Yeah, and it's I was just I just really want to go outside and play kickball. And they're just showing me some slideshows of stuff I can't ever erase from my brain. Oh goodness. Well,
anyway, let's get away from that topic.
Yeah, let's move on to some questions.
Okay, let's do some questions.
One of the questions I got. And I'll let you go first on this one.
I don't have the questions. You have the list of questions.
Yeah, but we have talked about this. This wasn't a really question, but this was the first one that I'd gotten that I remembered. Somebody had asked us, "Hey Joel, why don't you take a lozenge back there?"
I don't have any lozenges, thank you.
Why don't you just stop breathing then?
Well, I'll try.
So somebody asked us what our most embarrassing moment from high school, middle school, time was, and I have a lot of super embarrassing moments. I was gonna tell one that was like somewhat embarrassing, but it's just one that I could remember. So you said you had a pretty good one.
Well, it's not from middle school. I was probably like 10, maybe 11.
That's close to 11 is like 6th grade. That's middle school.
Is it?
Yeah, I was 11 in 6th grade.
No, well, anyway, I was homeschooled, so I don't know where I was at. I was just like in school the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay, so I was probably 10 or 11, and I was at the bank with my mom.
Classic.
Yeah, I mean, you go to the bank, that's just what you do, right?
Yeah, you just sit around, maybe get a lollipop, maybe.
Well, my aunt worked at the bank, so I always got a lollipop, and sometimes a Coke, so.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, so we were there at the bank, and I had to go get something out of the car. I couldn't find whatever, I don't remember what it was, and I needed to go get it out of the car, so I go outside to get it out of the car, and Mom said, make sure you don't lock the keys in the car, because I'd done it before a while back. And I go to the car, and I had to pee at the time, and I found I couldn't find what it was in the car, and then I couldn't find the flipping keys. And so I was looking for the keys frantic because I couldn't shut the door because I knew it would lock whenever I shut the door. Yeah. Because the only way to get in this car was the keys. It didn't have like a click or remote thing or anything. So it wouldn't stop you from locking the keys in the car like they do now. Mm-hmm. And so I was like panicking, and I was about to pee my pants, and I'm still like freaking out. I cannot shut the door because they'll lock the keys in the car. And so I end up peeing my pants. I was wearing jeans, so the whole front of my jeans are just like dark, like clearly I'd peed my pants. And I still couldn't lock the keys in the car, so I just had to leave the door of the car open. I walked back in the bank and get my mom. Well, there's nothing I can do at that point. I can't stay outside. She'd be like, what the heck is he doing?
And you can't take your pants out and just walk in the bank.
Walk in my underwear at 11 years old.
What's up, everybody?
just chilling.
Airing it out.
Okay. Got hot outside. There they went.
Yeah.
I was in sex ed class, and then all of a sudden,
for the third time.
Yeah, so I had to go back in the bank where there's lots of people, obviously, because it's a bank.
Yeah,
and they're soaking wet at the front of my pants.
Oh no.
That was not a fun day. That was probably one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done.
Wow.
That was rough.
Was your mom like super embarrassed for you? Like, get out of the bank.
No, she wasn't like that. She was like, "Oh, why didn't you just shut the door? Like, you should have just locked the keys in the car." If that's what. Turns out they were in my pocket, which is the worst part. I know. I was like, "Well, crap."
Oops.
Yeah. Well, they were a little damp after that, but they still worked.
Yeah, the keys kind of stink, Mom. Sorry.
Well,
peed all over it.
That was my story.
Well, I've had a lot of pee. At
least you were younger when that happened for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've peed myself at that old. If I peed myself, I was at home. I did pee myself one time in the bed, and I was pretty old because I dreamed I was at a toilet and just let it flow. Those dang dreams.
That was last year.
Yeah. I had to clean it myself. It sucked. No, I was going to tell a story that I had planned out, and when you started telling that story, it reminded me of a different story in high school that I haven't told on here that I think is funnier than the story I was going to tell. So I'm just going to tell it improv story.
All right. Well, this will be a real reaction because I have no idea what you're about to tell.
I think you've heard the story, but I think you'll still enjoy hearing it.
Okay.
So as most people know, I'm not a good driver, right? I'm not.
Well, you're not a bad driver.
Yeah,
you're just extremely slow and you have no idea where you're going.
I'm not a bad driver. I'm just not confident. And number one, the biggest thing is that I'm just not good at backing up. Like anything in reverse, it kind of sketches me out. It always takes me a minute to think in my head, which way do I turn the wheel? I'm like, this way. Yeah. So I finally started driving to high school. So I got my license. So I was probably actually
16, 17.
Actually, no. This actually happened when I was a senior. So I was about 17 years old.
Okay.
And in high school, we had these designated parking spots. I think most high schools probably have it where you sign up for a spot, you pay for a spot for the year, and then you park in the same spot every day.
Yeah.
And I'd parked beside this girl that I'd known forever. I'd known her since I was like a little kid. Like we'd always gone to school together. That's also a thing about growing up in a small town, is that you've gone to school with the same people since you were like 5 years old. Yeah. So it's like you've known them forever.
Yep.
But she's also one of those that like I had in classes forever, I knew forever, but I'd never like really...
You didn't know her.
Yeah, I didn't like talk to her much at all. It's kind of weird. It's like we've always been around each other, but we've never actually like, genuinely had a conversation type thing. Which is sad when once you graduate high school and then you realize like, wow, I never talked to that person. You know what I mean? It's like, I never actually spent time with them and figured out like their story. And I've sat beside them like my whole life. So yeah, that's kind of a...
And then parking beside her didn't do anything for you.
Right. It didn't help. And so, but the thing is, like that year, I had actually started talking to her a little bit more. I think that's also a thing. That's a thing in high school. Not like that, but that's a thing in high school where like the kids that you grew up with, like you're actually starting to talk to when you get older, and you're like, oh, like they're not even that weird that I thought. You know,
they're not that cool either.
Yeah, that
happened a lot too.
Yeah, the cliques start dividing a little as you get like to senior year because you're going off to college. So people
everybody's
are just like,
oh, whatever.
Yeah, I'll talk to whoever. I'll talk to the lamos. And so I was starting to talk to her a little more, and I was like, oh, she's actually really cool. And she actually started getting cool with me because I always thought she was a little bitter towards me.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, just like my sense was just like she didn't totally like me that much, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So I'd park beside her, and one day after school, I got in my car, and I was always trying to be the first one to leave before the traffic got out because once traffic got out there, it takes forever to get home because all the schools release at one time and they're right beside each other.
Well, I mean, relative to Atlanta or something, it's no traffic at all. Relatively speaking.
Yeah, but the thing about our town and the situation is that the middle school and the high school are across the road from each other. So people are coming to get their kids from middle school, and then those buses are leaving, and the buses are coming to high school. So it's just a mess at that one area, really.
It's a mess.
And so I was leaving early, and I remember catching the glimpse of a girl that liked me when I was getting in the car, and I was like, hey. Ooh. So I put on my shades a little bit. I had some Ray-Bans or something, and I like gave that head nod where it's like, hey, you know. Yeah, she walked by, and so I was like, And then I guess my mind was in
La La Land.
La La Land, yeah. And
not the movie.
Not that movie featuring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. Won an Academy
Sponsor
Award.
our podcast.
So I start backing up my truck. I drive a small pickup truck, and then I just hear, and I was like, what? I was like, what? And you know, most people would think I should probably stop now. Well, Ben didn't think that. I thought, let's just keep going because whatever it is, it's going to come loose. We'll be fine. So I just keep going. And then I noticed people are starting to like look at me in the truck. Like they're watching me. They like stop. Like a guy like makes eye contact with me. I'm like, oh gosh, like they see me. I can't get out of here. I back up, and then finally the noise stops. I pull up. I look over. The girl's car, the girl I was talking about earlier, the one I parked beside, the freaking like whole front bumper is completely off. I ripped the entire freaking thing off of her car. Like demolished this thing. Like just,
oh my gosh.
Like peeled it off. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And like, it just like, when something like that happens to you, just like, you just like freak out. You
don't know what to do.
Yeah. Like you just start sweating. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I just stayed there, and like, I knew people like saw it and heard it. And so I get out of the car immediately and like go over and like,
at least you didn't just drive off.
Yeah. I mean, I did get out of the car, but I get out of the car, I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is awful. But then you like immediately check your own car. So I was like, oh, is that okay? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it looks fine. Completely made out of metal. There's nothing that's coming off of that thing.
So my truck looked fine, but her car was one of these newfangled plastic things, and it was not good. And so I wait out there, and I think some people told some people, the principals or the assistant principals start coming out there, some women that were the assistant principals of the school.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you're going to have to wait until the girl comes out here because she wasn't out there yet. And so that's the most painful wait, right? It's just sitting there.
It can't be as bad as that car drive from Savannah to Atlanta the other day when you forgot that wedding.
It's similar though, because this is a new car, and this girl.
Oh, this is a new car?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say anything about her. I'm not gonna say anything about the girl's wealth, but I don't think her family was like the richest or anything, and it was a brand new like car, so it wasn't like anything to take lightly. And I was just like, oh man. And so I just sat out there waiting for her to come. Finally, she comes out there just like kind of like what is going on, because there's like 80 people around her car. And she's like, oh my God. And like, she gets like legitimately pissed. And like, not necessarily at me, but like she's giving me some like angry eyes real bad, and starts calling her parents and stuff. And I was just like, and I start like freaking out. And the assistant principal ladies are just like, it's okay. Like, you can like calm down. Like, you'll be all right. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then like they called the cops, and the cops come down there, and obviously I called my parents. And then here's the part that was the most embarrassing. And I think it happened before the cops got here, but this is the part of the story that is the embarrassing part.
Okay.
So remember, I left my car kind of out in the way of the parking lot because I just got out of it.
Yeah.
And remember in the beginning I said I wasn't good at backing up. Obviously I wasn't good at backing up. I tore the girl's car up. And so the assistant principal, which is a larger woman, I'm not going to say large as in fat. No, she's just a large woman, very tall. And I drive a sort of small truck. And I was just like, she was like, just back it up and turn it around. Back it up, back your truck up and turn it. And I was starting to back up and like just backing up straight. And I was like, I don't know, they were like whipping around. I was like, and they're just like, okay, well, just get out of the car. And like the freaking woman just like yanks me out of the car, the assistant principal, and just gets in the truck and has to back up the car for me and park it. And like all the kids that are around me are watching, and it is so embarrassing that this woman had to like park my truck for me because I couldn't do it myself.
Oh, dude.
On top of, wrecking the girl's car. It was just it was like embarrassment on top of just embarrassment. I don't know.
Oh, dude, that's bad for real.
It was the worst. And the girl like didn't talk to me for the rest of the year.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah. I did keep
but
a
at
piece.
At the same time, like, insurance is going to pay for it. What's the big deal?
I did keep a piece of her bumper like in my truck for a really long time, just as a memento. I just threw it in the back of the truck.
Don't ever be this stupid again.
Yeah. Just always pay attention. I'm very wary when I like back up at a parking spot now. I'm just like, I go very slow and try not to repeat that.
Yeah, I'm a good driver. And I still hate parking lots.
I thought you were just gonna end on that. I'm a good driver. That's it. Joel's a good driver. Yeah. There was a few more questions we can answer, but that was the main one. I hope maybe you guys feel less embarrassed about your own embarrassing stories now that you've heard that. So one of the questions we got was, if you could be a musical genre, what would you be? Which is a pretty like
it's a weird question.
It's a weird question, but it's one that makes you think. Like, if I was a musical genre, what would I be?
I don't know. I feel like I would be like,
I guess, are we judging it by like our personality? Like if we're like laid back, like that kind of thing?
I guess.
Okay.
I guess we could go from that perspective. I would say I'm like jazz. No, not jazz.
Jazz.
No, let's not go jazz. I'll say the blues. I'm like the blues. Like,
okay.
You know what you're getting. It's going to be good. And it's going to be played well. And occasionally you might get something cool. Most of the time it's just going to be consistent.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's always going to be a consistent beat, but like now and then you'll get something spicy, but most of the time just like normal.
It's just like normal. You know what you're going to get. It's pretty cool, but not like over the top. And then occasionally you'll hear something cool. That's me as a genre. So I'm blues.
If I was a genre, I think I would be like prog rock.
Prog rock. Yeah, I can see that.
Because
like all over the place.
Well, kind of all over the place, and just because I'm kind of moody, and so I think like with prog rock, with progressive rock, you get like this slow emotional part, and then it'll just like get like super fast and rocking, and then it'll become like then it'll become like acoustic bit and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is kind of how you live your life. Especially when we're recording songs, it's like every emotion in like within 1 minute.
Yeah, And yeah, I mean, our music is almost prog in a way. It's not progressive.
Not at all.
It's not progressive, but I'm just saying, like, we do incorporate a lot of this stuff. It's not progressive in the sense of like time changes, but progressive in the sense of incorporating a lot of different
not really
bits. So, sometimes.
I mean, sort of, I guess, but
like I'll have like an emotional bit of a song, and then we'll have like a fast part sometimes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think
like,
it's just called songwriting, but
it's just called dynamics, Ben.
But what people do.
I don't know. Like ours sometimes are a little more like spastic than I guess than
pop
a
music,
normal pop music song.
But yeah, I would say you're pretty close to prog rock. That's a good genre description for your personality.
And if anybody wants to hear any of that music we're talking about, we make, check out the Drama Scene. We're on Spotify,
we're
iTunes,
on YouTube, we're on iTunes,
wherever. Look up the Drama Scene. All right, what is your favorite movie score?
My favorite movie score?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I got some playlists on my Spotify, I think.
See, the thing about me is like I like a lot of movie soundtracks and stuff, but like I don't necessarily like a lot of like full soundtracks.
Right. It's just like a particular part.
Or a particular song.
Yeah, I think we can go with that.
But I could go with the full soundtrack. But if I go with a particular song, I'm gonna go with the Ludlows from Legends of the Fall. Is my favorite musical score. So the Ludlows by James Horner. Look it up. Cry a little bit. You know, think about Brad Pitt in his heyday.
I mean, that was that's. I'm thinking maybe. What's that song from? What is it? Meet Joe Black? Is that the movie?
Yeah, they have there's some really good songs on Meet Joe Black. Yeah. I play that one on piano a lot.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about because I really like the way you play it. No, that's a good song. Yeah. Or that song that's it's not really a score song, but it's the one that they play it on Home Alone. It's like da 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 da. I
think I know what you're talking about.
It actually has words, but I never heard it until like last year's like that. Always in my memory. It's a Christmas song, actually. I like the song. Like the melody of it's cool.
Jurassic Park's a cool one too. If we're talking about just generally. But I'm gonna go with Legend of the Fall. The Ludlows. I'm gonna go with the Meet Joe Black one. Even though the what is it? Of course, the Batman movies had fantastic. Dark Knight, Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, I mean, anything by Hans Zimmer is pretty solid.
Yeah, the thing about him, he doesn't make like necessarily emotional stuff because I'm big into like Thomas Newman, James Horner, the slower stuff.
Yeah,
but I like the Hans Zimmer stuff sometimes when you're trying to get a little pumped up.
True.
If you could make the score for any movie, what movie would you do?
Ooh.
So if you could work on the score for a movie, I guess what type of movie, or should we say like a specific movie, do you think?
I guess we could do a specific movie.
Okay.
I would say like I would want to do a Batman movie or like a Spider-Man movie or something, like a hero movie, because you have all the highs and the lows of like the emotional parts.
Right.
Like you have a big dynamic of stuff to work with there, I think. So I think I would go like a superhero movie, so like a Batman. I would say, one of the Batman movies.
I would say a specific movie, and a lot of people like hate this movie, but I think if coming from a musical point and the things you could do with it, and I mean the music's great on it already, but The Amazing Spider-Man 2, just because it has the, obviously the really, really emotional stuff, but then obviously he's got superhero stuff that you can play with for the fun like music stuff.
Yeah, and you've got like very dynamic villains with a lot of character traits and stuff you could play with in the music too. Yeah, that would be a good one.
So that would be fun.
Be a lot of fun.
From a musical standpoint, that movie would be a lot of fun to work on.
True.
So I would say Amazing Spider-Man 2, but Batman would be really cool too, because then you can do like the really dark sounding stuff more than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And the last question we have, how would you, or she wrote it wrong, who would you have play you in a movie of your life?
I think I'd go with Kristen Bell. I've always wanted to be able to sing.
That was very like you've been thinking about it.
Well, maybe I have.
Oh, Kristen Bell, huh? Is that really your final answer?
No, I think I would say
the guy who played Ron from Harry Potter.
No. I would go with I don't know. There's like no blonde actors.
There's none. Well, they can dye their hair for you though. So maybe just think of a guy with freckles. Oh, I got a guy that'd be good for you.
I think I know who I'd get to play me, but you go ahead. Who would be good?
I think to play you would be Eddie Redmayne.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Eddie Redmayne is? He was in that Fantastic Beast movie that came out.
I was gonna say I'd get Bug Hall to play me. The guy who played Alfalfa on the Little Rascals movie.
I don't think he's still acting, but maybe he is. Maybe he'd come out just for your movie.
He'd come back for me.
Yeah, he'd come out for your movie. It's not what I meant. He'll come back into acting for your movie. For me, to play me, I would probably get...
I know who you would pick.
I don't think you would. I think I'll pick somebody that you wouldn't pick. I would pick probably Logan Lerman.
I was gonna say you'd pick Brad Pitt. Just you like his movies.
Obviously, I'd want to pick Brad Pitt, but it'd be kind of weird for like a 50-year-old dude to be playing me right now. So
now, but like if it was just the story of your life.
Okay, but no, I would say Logan. I would say Logan Lerman because he's kind of a small guy and he could.
Yeah, he's a good actor too.
Yeah, and he's a good actor.
He was in a Brad Pitt movie.
He was in a Brad Pitt movie. Yeah, Fury.
He was in that Tank movie, right?
Yeah, Fury. Yeah, it was a great movie.
Great movie. Fury, sponsor our podcast.
Also, great questions. Thank you to our fan. Actually, I'll just say the fan. It was Ashlyn that sent those questions. So thank you, Ashlyn.
You get a shout out if you send us questions. So if you want your name shouted out,
send us some questions.
Yeah. Thanks,
Ashlyn, for the great questions. You're a great friend, and you know how to use Instagram.
Words. That takes us into...
All right, so now we're talking about Screw Up of the Week. I was going to talk about something else, but we're going to save that for next episode because we want to have plenty of time to talk about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a serious episode next week. So
so look forward to that.
Get prepared.
Yeah, we're going to be getting emotional, maybe crying a little bit on the podcast.
I don't know about all that. No, I might cry because I almost cried thinking about something today for that podcast. So I was like, dang.
Really?
I didn't think it would move me that much.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can't wait. So maybe,
you're ready to hear me cry on podcast, everybody.
Yeah, dang. All right, so the screw up of the week. Now, this is not a screw up of the week. This is really the screw up of the last, 3 years, personally. And she really hasn't done anything this week. I mean, she has a little bit, but I'm not going to really talk about that. She had to do
something this week, right?
She did do something this week that was stupid, but she's done a lot of things that are dumb, and I'm just going to talk about her. The screw up of the week, it's Amy Schumer.
That's pretty much all that needs to be said.
That's it. Screw up of the week, Amy Schumer. We're out of here. No, Amy Schumer is, if nobody knows who she is, she's a stand-up comedian. She's a woman, if you don't know, because she'll gladly tell you. She's a woman!
In very explicit details, she'll tell you that she's a woman.
Yeah, and she's anatomically a woman. Amy Schumer, she stand up. She does acting, I guess. Is she in movies, right? Like a few.
She was in Trainwreck or whatever,
which was a box office train wreck. Am I right?
Am I
right? I think it was right.
Trainwreck, more like brain wreck. Watching it, am I right?
Train wreck, more like I can't wait to turn it off. So yeah, she's about that bad. No, but she actually just got married.
Oh wow! Well, congratulations, Amy Schumer. Sponsor our podcast.
This last week,
be affiliated with us.
This last week, she got married. I think it was this last week because it came up on the news that her wedding vows, the thing she said in the wedding vows, I can't say on this podcast what she said in her wedding vows.
Can you say a clean version of it? Just so that people can get an idea.
I can try.
Okay. This is probably going to be funnier than the actual words.
Amy Schumer, in her wedding vows with her husband at her wedding, obviously, where else would it be? She, let me think of the way to say this on this PG podcast. She promised to not quit performing services for her husband, although they were getting married. Basically.
Oh, gosh.
Basically, she said something along those lines, except very more explicit in her vows to her husband. And it's just like
she sounds like she's taken sex ed more than 4 times.
Yeah, woo. Classic Schumer. No, it's just like she's so bad. Like, it's not good comedy. It's super dirty for just the sake of being dirty. And then it always comes back to the fact that like nobody thinks she's funny. Oh, it's because I'm a woman. It's it's not because you're a woman.
No, it's just because your jokes suck.
Yeah, and everybody, this whole thing came out in like August with her and Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. She basically said, it came out that she told Netflix that like she deserved as much pay for a Netflix special as Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock.
Have you ever watched the Dave Chappelle special? It's way funnier than you, Amy Schumer.
Yeah, and it comes down to her probably thinking that, you know, she's a woman. Like, she's not getting paid as much because she's a woman.
73 cents for every dollar they're getting paid.
Yeah. But it's like, it has nothing to do with that. Like, you can just not be like a funny comedian.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't have to do with you're a woman. I know plenty of funny women comedians that are way better than you. Yeah, I don't getting paid nearly as much either. So
I don't really know how she got popular. Like,
I don't know.
And
everybody, it must have been one of those Taylor Swift things where like her dad bought tons of copies of her DVD or something.
Her dad just bought a bunch of tickets to her like stand-up specials.
He set a bunch of TVs on DVRs to record her stand-up special on Comedy Central, so her get good ratings.
I heard this, and I saw this in a PewDiePie video, so I don't know if it's true, but that she, like, her stand-up special is the reason Netflix doesn't have, like, rating systems anymore, is what I heard.
Are you serious?
Because it got rated so bad that it was, like, a 1-star. Her stand-up special was, like, so low and so hated on by Netflix, like, their reviews and stuff, that, like, Netflix just took away their views.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if that's true. That's kind of an urban legend, I guess. I don't know. But
conspiracy of the week.
It's kind of a conspiracy of the week. But you guys can look it up and see if that's...
I would believe it. It did get trashed. I looked at the reviews. I watched like the first 5 minutes of it. It's like, oh, no, this sucks. Maybe it gets better later on. Skip 50 minutes in, literally almost an hour in this thing. It was almost the exact same joke. I was like, are you serious?
You know, that's another thing about her is that she steals jokes. That's why everybody like is realizing now that she's just terrible.
Well, yeah,
like,
that too.
There is
like she finally said something funny. Oh wait, it was stolen from somebody
There's a
else.
video on YouTube of Amy Schumer on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and I don't know if you've seen this, but she tells a joke to Ellen that Ellen told on Ellen's own stand-up like years prior, and she tells a joke that's like basically the same joke.
I
like
watched a compilation of all the jokes she stole. It was literally like 12 minutes long.
It's long, yeah. She stole a bunch from like, I want to say it was like John Mulaney or somebody like that.
Tons of them.
A bunch of comedians that are just like, they're like word for word the same joke. And it's like, it can't be a coincidence at that point. You know what I mean? It's like,
no.
There's like, now and then there's like one, it's like, okay, well, she probably didn't steal it, but then it's like 12 minutes long. It's like, oh gosh, like she definitely
like
stole
I get like stealing concepts. That's something like, of course, everybody's going to talk about marriage. Like,
yeah.
But like your perspective on it has to be a little bit different than the other guys, especially considering you just got married.
Yeah, I don't know. I never thought she was funny because number one, she reminded me of a girl from high school that I'd never liked. And so she just always came off as this like a really obnoxious girl that gets drunk.
Was so full of herself.
And like, full of herself, and she wasn't that like gorgeous or anything. The type of girl that would probably like get drunk at home by herself on a Friday and tweet about it.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, except it's lame, but you know, whatever.
But the tweeting about it is what I'm saying.
Like the tweeting about it, that part. Yeah.
She would Instagram it up. Yeah, I don't know. She just... And I guess it wouldn't even be different if she was like a better looking girl. Like I wouldn't think anything different.
No, if you're a terrible comedian, you're a terrible comedian. I watch lots of guy comedians and I don't find any of them attractive and they're still funny.
Yeah, she needs to step up her game. She needs to stop stealing stuff. And she needs to stop. I think now like she's doubling down on this whole like just be as like disgusting as possible.
And she like, okay, this is my other thing with her is it's like, okay, she's a feminist. Well, yeah, you can be a feminist, but you don't have to be gross about it. Like, I don't understand. That's not those two ideas are not one and the same. Well, like, and you don't have to be gross to be a feminist.
And I'm getting tired of people bringing it back to that all the time. It's just like it's not always about somebody's skin color. It's not always about the fact that you're a woman. It's not always about this. Like sometimes it just is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's not to say it never is because sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is, but like sometimes
it's just the fact that you suck.
Yeah, you just might not be like as good as Dave Chappelle. It doesn't mean because Dave Chappelle's a guy that he's better. He's rated better just because he's a guy. You know, he's just a better comedian.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Like, and I feel like she just can't accept that for some reason.
Yeah, well, it's like some other people we know on social media that think they're all of that. Like, nobody could possibly hate their stuff.
Yeah.
When it really kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you so full of yourself? Like, come back down to earth and realize what you're making's crap, and then just improve it. Like, it's not that you don't have any talent. Like, just work on your craft. Like,
yeah,
just
it's like you can change. Yeah, you can read people's comments. Like, I know all these celebrities, like, I never get online and read comments. Well, maybe you should now and then. Just, like, check them out. See what's like going down.
If you see patterns that are keep repeating, it's like, oh, well, maybe you should check that. If it's a one-off, sure, maybe that's or whatever, they're having a bad day. But if you keep getting the same thing, oh, well, this part of your podcast sucks, which we've taken into consideration.
Yeah.
And we've tweaked it, and it's like, okay, that's fine, that's fair. If everybody's saying it sucks, then that's something we need to fix. Like, we're cool with that.
If everybody's saying, something sucks, it might just suck. You know what I mean? If everybody's saying it's a duck and it's not a dog,
what Amy Schumer said in her wedding vows.
What? What'd she say?
You said if it sucks, sometimes it just sucks. I said, which is basically what Amy Schumer said in her wedding vows.
My gosh. Okay, that seems like a good time to wrap it up.
Okay, and with that, everybody, welcome back to episode 10, the big 1-0. Welcome back, and it's over.
Don't forget to wipe. Don't forget to not do drugs. And don't forget to read internet comments. If you suck, just get better. It's not that hard.
There you go.